Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Cat's Track. Thank you for subscribing, liking, and sharing this with your friends. Today's episode is with our friend Andy Mark. Andy was born on a stormy night in Saskatchewan, and his mom tells him that there was a blackout in half the province that night. It's probably all the energy that it took. He grew up in a small town called Imperial, Saskatchewan, and moved to Caronport, Saskatchewan, partway through elementary. After high school, he attended a year of Bible school in Bearcrest Bible College before earning his BCom at the University of Saskatchewan. What a great university that is, by the way. I absolutely love the grounds there. After graduating university, Andy moved to Calgary to start work, and shortly after that met his amazing wife, Jill. They have been married for almost 15 years, and during that time, his work has taken him to New Zealand and back, and they have 3 kids joining them along on the journey. Outside of the his loved ones, his passion is for his work. He's also passionate to use his gifts and talents to serve his family and anyone that he comes in contact with. He also loves going on adventures with his loved ones, cooking and training and racing and triathlons. Wow, how do you do it all? Reg, you'll find his full bio attached. Andy, thank you so much for joining us today.
Great, thanks for having me, Kat.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. It's so nice. I'm really looking forward to hearing what you have to say. Are you ready for the questions?
I am ready.
Awesome. Okay, this is always my most exciting one. Why do you do what you do?
That's a great question. It's been something that I've reflected on quite a bit over the pandemic, and I guess my role right now, I'm the Chief Financial Officer and Chief Compliance Officer of QV Investors. We're a Calgary-based independent investment manager, and we serve clients at public mutual funds, pensions, foundations, charities, First Nations, and individuals. My role within the organization is to support our team, our investing team and our operations team, and give them direction or help give them direction on where we want to go. But looking back on why I do what I do, I think it comes back to the example my parents gave me. My parents, as I mentioned, we lived in a small farming community, and my parents owned a pharmacy, and the way how they viewed their role within the community was to serve. They were serving the health of the community with the pharmacy, but also just building into that. And so I've really looked at what they did and how they did it. It was always with being willing to serve. I remember them getting calls late at night to go back to the store and help someone out with a prescription or something like that, or just even how they interacted of welcoming new doctors that came into the community, or just getting us kids interacting and being involved in the sports, and just them building into that. So I look at that and how that's kind of influenced my career. And I've been in professional services for the majority of my career, and what I really get fulfillment from is giving back, whether that's serving our clients, or serving our colleagues, of providing an environment where they're being challenged at work, where they can use their gifts and talents, and to just have that fulfillment that they can do to be able to do their best. And so that's ultimately kind of gets down to why I do what I do. I just love that, and being able to spread that with my family, my friends, of to serve them and to help them be the best that they can be.
Your personality is infectious. Has anybody ever told you that?
Not too much. So yeah, no.
Wow. Your heart it's absolutely clear that you are a servant to others, and I'm always gravitating to people like that. In fact, I think a lot of people do. So well done, Andy, and well done to your parents too.
Well, thank you.
That's awesome. And can I dig a little deeper before we go into the next piece?
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned charities and First Nations, and you probably saw that I'm a human rights activist and very involved in charities and Indigenous groups as well. Can you tell me, or maybe are you allowed to give some examples of where your team may show up in those spaces, and how do you? I guess to our charities and Indigenous groups out there, how can you serve them?
Yeah, so a couple ways. We do provide investment management services to them. So we manage a portfolio of assets for them. That's one way that we do it. We also give back to the community through we have a donations committee where we do give back and we support different charities throughout, and that's across the country. And so we've provided, we've donated to the food bank, to different other organizations throughout, just to help them reach their cause. So a lot of it is just, we, as an organization, we believe in partnering with that, and partnering with our community. So being able to take a look at what we, kind of what we want to do to help. And so, we feel that we're in a fortunate place where we can help. So we're very much looking for different ways that we can help, either through the services that we provide or through being able to donate back to the community.
That's awesome. Very good to know. Do you do any capital raises or anything like that, or come alongside a charity to help them with that?
Yeah, we do. We have come alongside and help. Like I said, use some being able to donate to that. And so we've definitely been able to help with that way.
Awesome. Thank you, Andy. The next part, your top 3 things. I'm always curious. What are they? What are they for you?
Yeah, I guess the top 3 things, I guess the first part is, understanding what your legacy is. That's one thing I don't know, like I said, mentioned before, the pandemic has just made me a bit reflective, but, I look back, I got to work with a fairly senior partner at the accounting firm I was at in New Zealand. And I worked quite closely with him for about a year. And at his retirement party, he said, I just hope I leave this place better than when I first started. And so it just got me thinking of how do we do that? How do I do that? What do I want to leave this earth with? How do I want to leave that? And how do I want to be able to impact those and kind of have that as a legacy? So, and taking that down to, the day-to-day things, like what sort of things do I want to have as a legacy? And so that's something that's in my mind. I don't get there all the time, but it's just understanding, where, what you want to leave and how that kind of guides the decisions you make. So hopefully, understanding where you want to go, that kind of helps you understand, or it's helped me understand what I need to do to get there. So having that back in the back of my mind, it was always kind of helped me see, it helped guide me what I need to do.
That's exciting. Awesome. Thank you, Andy.
Okay. So the next piece is relationships. And this is something that I got from, that has stuck with me from university. It's very much an accounting thing of debits and credits and how they impact, but just to understand the relationships of, you make a decision in one area, it impacts another. I always joke that, part of our role as an operations group is to where we have this big complex machine that we're trying to run as well, as efficient as possible. But as we make decisions in one area, it impacts another. Just understanding that, and it's not saying that understanding helps make decisions any easier, but at times it's made it harder, especially this past year when we're dealing with whether we work from home or whether we both go back in the office, or what we do from the pandemic standpoint. It's been a bit harder just understanding, you're not dealing with the 26 colleagues I work with, but also their families and our clients and whatnot, and how that impacts. But just to be aware of, the decisions and kind of understanding the full impact that those decisions may have, and just being comfortable with that, of knowing, there's risks involved with anything, but just being able to understand the risks and know that.
Yeah, agreed. Awesome.
Yeah. And then my last piece is just communication. One of the things it's been tempting, as we haven't been seeing a lot of people, haven't been seeing each other a lot recently, is just, it's easier to text or it's easier to send an email, but I found that some of the better connections that I've made is just to be able to pick up the phone and call somebody. Yeah. And just, the comforting part of just hearing someone's voice, you can get, it's just a better connection. We're relational beings. And so to be able to connect with that, and, I know we're all looking forward to a time when we can actually get together, go for a coffee, go for lunch. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just in the meantime, not to lose sight of that, and to see that, it may be easier to send a text message, but it's probably more impactful to pick up the phone and give someone a call.
Yeah, that's good advice, Andy. Thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
what about the last piece with what you see as a new frontier or what's on the horizon for you or what's your crystal ball?
Yeah, it's being in investment management. It's we're dealing with the market, and the markets are the markets. But some of the things that we have going on, I guess, on the QV front, we've really looked at. I guess we have a couple of things that we're hoping to come out this year that are going to impact that are going to be positive, I guess, from a client experience standpoint. We've been working on kind of digitizing a few different things, and so we're kind of laying the the ground pieces for a couple of things that we're going to launch that we're looking at launching this year. So I'm excited about that. It's a lot of foundational work that we're kind of going through and understanding what how our systems work and whatnot. But yeah, I'm looking forward to being able to show the world what that is.
That's exciting. When will that be officially launched?
We're still kind of figuring out some of the details on it, but yeah, it's sometime later this year.
That's oh, good for you. I love this new digital age.
Yeah, it is. It is quite interesting just to see, and there's just so much transformation happening, and it's really exciting to be part of, to do our part.
Well, you're definitely leading in that area as well, Andy. I'm very proud of you and your team. Well done.
Oh, thanks. Excellent.
And thank you so much for joining us today. I know you're always so busy and I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, everyone. Andy, Mark, check out the great work that they're doing and obviously making a huge impact in the philanthropy world as well, which is great to know. Thanks for joining us on Cat's Track. We'll see you next time.